Good morning, everyone. It's June 18th, and we're starting our Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission meeting for June 18th. Mr. Adams, can you do a roll call to confirm quorum?
Chair Harris.
Here.
Do we have Commissioner Bartley? Understand Commissioner Hedrick will be arriving late. Commissioner Linden.
Here.
Commissioner Pettowim. You're muted, Commissioner.
Here.
Thank you. Vice Chair Shapiro.
Here.
Commissioner Giraldo.
Here.
Commissioner Washington.
President?
That is 6. We have quorum.
Thank you so much. Our first item this morning is approval of commission meeting agenda for June 18th, 2025. But first, I'd like to say we are amending the packet agenda to add the following items. Item 6G, pro bono representation policy. The material was posted and sent for review earlier this week. And the next item is item 6H, communicate with confidence. It'll be under actions and presentation items. That'll be for discussion only. So do I have a motion for approval of the commission minutes as amended?
Agenda, sir.
So move.
Agenda as amended, please.
So move.
Second?
So Commissioner
Commissioner
Giraldo.
Washington?
Yeah, and moved by Commissioner Giraldo.
Commissioner Washington.
Yeah, and second by Commissioner Washington.
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettowim.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
Call for Commissioner Bartley or Commissioner Hedrick. 6-0, motion passes. Thank you.
Our next item is approval of commission minutes.
Mr. Chair, we have 2 edits to the posted minutes from the packet from 5/21/25. The edit is, first edit is to item 5C, the first sentence, paragraph 2. Prior to October 2024, GLP-1 drugs were filled by prescription only, which was causing a significant increase in the cost of prescription insurance coverage. The second edit is to item 6B, final sentence, paragraph 3. Deputy Director Fluchet confirms several projects were cut due to the reduced budget, although much had been offset by bond bill funding. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for approval of the minutes of May 21st, 2025 as amended?
I move approval. Commissioner Giraldo.
Second, Commissioner Washington?
Moved by Commissioner Giraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettowim.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Aye.
Call for Commissioner Bartley or Commissioner Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is general announcements. This month, we are promoting Juneteenth holiday, which is Thursday, June 19th, the National Caribbean American Heritage Month, Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, Transgender, and Queer Pride Month, and our last item is of the upcoming Independence Day celebration holiday, which is July 4th. The fourth item is committee and board reports. We have one this morning for information only that were in our packet. Employees Retirement System Board of Trustees regular meeting minutes from May 6, 2025. And now we will go into closed section pursuant to the Maryland General Provisions article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, Section 3-305B9. A closed session is proposed to conduct collective bargaining negotiations or consider matters that relate to the negotiations. Do I have a motion to go into closed session?
So move.
Second?
Moved by Commissioner Giraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettowim.
Aye.
Vice Chair Harris.
Aye.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Shapiro. My apologies.
Aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Aye.
Call for Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now going to close session and return to open session in approximately, a half hour. Thank you. We're back in open session. Under action and presentation items, the first item is, which is a voting item, amendments to the M-NCPPC Rules of Procedure regarding rotation of the M-NCPPC chairmanship. And Mr. Beckham and Mr. Anderton are presenting this item. Welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. This item is item 6A on circle page 13 of your packet. The amendments proposed for the commission are to amend the commission rules of procedure to have the chair and vice chair of the commission rotate on July 1 instead of at the first meeting after July 1. The intent behind this is to make the process simple and flexible. If the commission would like to take a vote prior to July 1, that is possible, but it's not necessary. And so the policy office has drafted these amendments at the request of the chair and vice chair. They are on circle page 16 of your packet. We would be happy, excuse me, to answer any questions you may have and ask for your vote of approval. Thank you.
Are there any questions or comments to Mr. Beckham's presentation? Vice Chair Shapiro, yes.
When I become chair to July 1st, do I have to wear a tie?
At your discretion.
You can set your own rules.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
I'm good, go.
Yeah, good.
I'll move approval if it's
Yeah,
appropriate.
if there are no other
this time.
comments or questions, do I have a motion for approval?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Giraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway. Commissioner, you're on mute.
Aye.
Thank you. Vice Chair Shapiro.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Vote aye.
Calling for Commissioner Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is 6B, Resolution 25-12, adoption of the fiscal year 26 Commission operating and capital budgets. And this morning we have Ms. Terry Charles presenting this item. Welcome.
Good morning. I'm before you to present a brief summary of the adoption package provided for the FY26 operating and capital budgets. The Commission's budget in total is nearly $1.1 billion, and that's captured actually on the last page of Exhibit C in your package. In a year-over-year comparison, that's about $19.8 million less, or 1.8% down from last year's adopted budget, which, as you'll recall, included the one-time expense for the Largo headquarters building. Now, when we began the FY26 development journey late July last year, we anticipated less than favorable economic headwinds. And as a result, we submitted an FY26 proposed budget that was modest. In fact, a year-over-year comparison would show that we reduced the requested aggregate spending plan by almost $14.4 million, which was down by 1.3%. Mostly due, of course, to the variance in capital projects funding. Despite best efforts, though, we still faced calls from our respective counties to further reduce the budget in Montgomery County and to realign and increase the budget to include council-specific priorities in Prince George's, all prompted by or due to the surrounding regional uncertainty stemming from the impact of the federal workforce reductions and cuts to federal contracts. However, even with those council adjustments, today's budget for adoption still reflects the Commission's continued practice of prioritizing its spending to maintain current service delivery levels, while also investing in key enhancements to continue to improve the quality of life within both counties served. Now, as we look at the summary chart on page 2 of the memo, the actions taken by Prince George's Council resulted in the 3 tax-supported funds remaining flat year over year, as shown there at $467 million. The county's total budget is $638.6 million. Included within that budget are the following changes from our proposed. Specifically, $4.75 million more was provided in adjustments to the Capital Projects Fund, which is 3.8% increase. And those are shown in Exhibit B. And nearly $23 million more in operating expenditures specifically directed by council, coupled alongside with an additional $2.5 million reduction for further vacancy savings. And those actions are detailed and discussed on and I apologize, on your unmarked page, last page of the memo. Now switching over to the actions approved by Montgomery Council. As it resulted in the 3 tax-supported funds and securing, if you will, an increase of 5.7% when compared year over year. So an additional $10.65 million is available or will be available as of July 1, bringing the tax-supported funds to nearly $198.4 million. The county's total budget is $280.2 million, which is slightly down 0.5% or $1.3 million. Now, again, included within this approved budget are net changes from our proposed of about $1.3 million. The specifics of that are Montgomery County, our proposed was reduced by $4.1 million. The administrative fund had experienced, if you will, a reduction of $1.7 million, which equates to a 3.5% reduction. And the park fund was reduced by 1.5%, or which equated to $2.4 million. These reduction actions can be found in your memo on the unmarked pages 3 and 4 in terms of the details. The Capital Projects Fund was upwardly adjusted by nearly $2.9 million. And again, that is contained within Exhibit A. So as I end today's brief presentation, I want to again emphasize that this budget reflects the continued commitment to be good stewards, to carefully monitor finances, to prioritize budgets to infuse efficiencies, and to bravely make difficult decisions to remain most responsive to the community. And in a very, very few short weeks, we will yet again be kicking off the formal planning for the next fiscal year, which will reflect what we know is this prolonged period of uncertainty influenced by macro factors such as trade policy, inflation and interest rates. Given this slower economic growth, we will continue to test our fiscal resilience. As such, I just want to end by offering and extending a grand thank you to all who were involved in getting to today's requested adoption. And that, of course, includes a rousing round of applause to the entire commission-wide budget staff who embraced the required mindset and managed the fiscal work to its completion. With that, I'm available for questions.
Thank you so much.
I have a
Okay,
I have a question.
please go ahead.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. Can you explain in a little greater detail with regards to on the Prince George's County side, the changes requested by the council?
So as indicated, they added about $23 million in additional operating expenditures. The specific purposes are varied and wide, but they include some new programming as well as additional project charges that impact all 3 of our funds.
Okay, so that's what then the Prince George's Council increased it by $23 million. Is that right?
Right. Correct.
And was it for any specific purpose, if you know?
There's a long list, and it's probably easier to provide their resolution, which lists some of the specific items that they wanted to pursue. It's a very extensive list, but we can surely get that passed to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Shaw. I appreciate it. As always, a great presentation.
Yeah, thank you.
I have no further questions,
Okay,
Mr. Chair.
are there any further questions or comments from the commissioners? Hearing none, I would also like to say thank you, Ms. Charles, and all the folks from both Prince George's and Montgomery County and the budget staff. This was a very tough budget year, but you did it with a lot of vigor, a lot of grace, and there's a lot of negotiating going on. And as you mentioned, we are very, very efficient. We're using taxpayer dollars to do the best we can to keep up our parks and planning departments in our two counties. So thank you so much. Hearing or seeing no other comments and questions, do I have a motion to approve the Resolution 25-12, the adoption of the fiscal year 25 Commission operating and capital budgets?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second and also add my congratulations to Ms. Charles and the entire team for a job well done.
Thank you. So there is moved by Commissioner Giraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Giraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Aye.
Call for Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you. We're now on item 6C, Resolution 25-13, Extension of Hiring and Sign-On Bonus Program and Statistics Follow-Up. We have Mr. Allen this morning presenting this item. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Todd Allen, Director of Human Resources, and I have a short presentation just to kind of show you where we are currently and what department heads have recommended. Over the last several months, I worked closely with all the departments to develop this resolution 2513. Departments unanimously supported the recommendations that you're about to see. I thought it'd be helpful just to do a quick recap here. So today we have the following program. Hopefully you can see that. If not, please let me know. And the thresholds are up to 3,000, up to 5,000, up to 7,500. The recommendation is to put the cap at the 7,500, take that down to a cap of 7,000, and not change the cap for Park Police. We've negotiated something with Park Police. Actually, it's kind of win-win to spread their payment over 4 years, which is helpful for retention. The amount of 10,000 would stay the same. So you'll see these different cutoff points that we have now, and we would be raising those cutoff points. So the combination of lowering the cap from 7,500 to 7,000 and raising the cutoff points will produce some cost savings. We do find this to be a beneficial program for department heads to continue to have. They have reduced their use of the program. However, from time to time, it's very helpful for them to have this tool in their toolkit. We do have a referral bonus program that is overall rarely used. The current program is if somebody refers a merit system hire, the bonus can be up to $500, and a seasonal hire up to $50. The $50 actually it costs more to administer that program than it does than the payout amount. So our recommendation is to pause that program. We're actually getting over 51,000 applications a year now. The great news is we're getting a lot of increased interest. We had a lot of interest. Now we have even more interest in working here. So our recommendation is to pause the referral bonus program. Do you have any questions for me about our recommended resolution 2513?
Are there any questions or comments from the commissioners?
I have none.
No, hearing none, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 25-13, Extension of Hiring and Sign-On Bonus Program?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Geraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway. Vice Chair Shapiro.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Geraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Aye.
Calling Commissioners Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're now on item 6D. There are two resolutions, all under one heading. The first is, well, they are fiscal year 26 wage adjustments for M-NCPPC Park Police, where Acting Executive Director Spencer will present both items, Resolution 25-14, wage adjustment for Fraternal Order of Police, and 25-15, wage adjustment for Park Police Command Staff and Cadets. Welcome, Mr. Spencer.
Thank you, Chair Harris. The resolutions basically addresses the merit, COLA, and the bonus program. These programs essentially were open for wage reopeners for FY26. I mean FY26, and provides the FOP with a competitive wage compared to our competitors within the region. We also, within that resolution, have a pilot take-home vehicle program, and we looked at our medicals for our officers, and to have come to an agreement that our officers would continue to be to go to our commissioned vendor for the annual physicals. So that concludes my presentation on that.
Okay, thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments to Mr. Spencer's discussion of resolutions 25-14 and 25-15? Hearing none, do I have a motion for approval of resolutions 25-14, wage adjustment for Fraternal Order of Police, and 25-15, wage adjustment for Park Police Command Staff and Cadets?
So move. I have a question. Do we vote on them separately or jointly? So it's more of a procedural question.
I believe both can be taken at the same time, but I'll defer to the General Counsel.
Okay.
Is Ms. Borden, General Counsel, there?
If go ahead.
Yes, I am. Thank you. You can do them together. I think it would be better hygiene if you did them separately.
Okay.
Because this is kind of important. Yeah.
Okay, great. So so we'll vote on resolution 25-14, wage adjustment of Fraternal Order of Police. There was moved by Mr. Geraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call on that resolution?
I will point out I don't think Commissioner Washington seconded this.
Oh, I'm
one
sorry.
Yet.
She just did, second.
Thank you.
Okay.
There you go. We're on a roll right now.
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Geraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Vote aye.
Call for Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Great. We're on the next resolution 25-15, wage adjustment for Park Police staff, command staff, and cadets. Do I have a motion for approval?
So move.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Washington, moved by Commissioner Geraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. Do I have a motion? Do I have a vote, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway. Vice Chair Shapiro.
Vote aye.
Commissioner Geraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
Aye.
Call for Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Great. We're now on item 1E, which is HR Strategic Plan Follow-Up by Mr. Todd Allen.
Good morning again, and thank you for the opportunity to share our strategic plan. Let's see, let me shift gears here. Are you able to see my PowerPoint?
No.
Not
Might
yet.
take a second just to click in.
Nothing.
So I'll just give an introduction as it's loading. In January, I was asked to do a strategic plan, which also might be referred to as an annual business plan. So we jumped right on that. Are you able to see this slide now?
Not yet.
No.
No.
All right, let me try to reshare that. Thanks for your patience.
See it now.
Thanks for your patience. Okay, so I'm really excited that we have accomplished this task, and it's a wonderful foundation for our future. It outlines corporate HR operational goals and strategic initiatives designed to address immediate challenges and proactively align our services with the needs of the operational departments. In summary, it's a very helpful roadmap focused on empowering our greatest asset, which is our people, and continuing to provide outstanding services to our community. Just enlarge this a little bit. Well, there's 4 core themes: talent management, continuous service delivery improvement, employee engagement, and communication and collaboration. Each of these themes has a lot of component parts to it to seek to really do great things for our full workforce. So one example, can you see the slide now for talent management?
Yes.
Okay, great. I have 2 screens here. I apologize. So talent management as an example of a large umbrella word that's important. We care about attracting talent to our wonderful organization, onboarding them, giving them a great experience, and then hopefully a long-term career. A lot of people come here, and it's fantastic to see 30+ year service to our organization. So during that time, we want to have a great experience and support employee retention. Part of doing that is going to be looking at ways to provide leadership development. Learning management is our LMS system, and we've expanded a lot of learning and development programs I'll talk about in a minute. Ensuring fair compensation and so on. Of course, valuing diversity, equity, and inclusion is embedded in everything we do. So you'll see that quite a bit in our strategic plan. The main areas of focus include deploying recruitment and retention strategies, investing in our employees' learning and development, enhancing the employee experience. Our vision is to create an outcome-driven culture that elevates performance, unlocks potential, and accelerates employee growth. Key strategic initiatives include introducing a culture of learning, implementing recruitment innovation. There is a lot of wonderful things going on in the departments already with learning and development, and so we're just going to seek to lean in and continue to partner with them. We also are taking some of the corporate programs and taking them to the next level. I'll talk about one in particular in a minute called the Impact Academy. We look to standardize and improve HR processes, deliver outstanding customer service, leverage technology for automation and data analytics, improve. Let's try to get this aligned here. Improve timeliness and responsiveness of HR functions and establish clear roles and responsibilities between department and corporate and departmental HR. So we've laid out, we have hundreds of projects. We've just pulled out some of our top projects. So there's probably a couple hundred. We pulled out top ones. One is succession planning. This is a national issue. Nationally, 1 in 5, I think actually the data I saw was 1 in 6 or 1 in 7 people are reaching retirement age now throughout the country. We have a higher average age than the typical employer, so this is even more important for us. So we're leaning into how to partner with departments and look at different strategies. And that also ties into the next category, Impact Academy. So we've had a leadership cohort program for quite some time, last couple of years, and we're taking it from kind of the aspiring leader and people manager, and we're adding a manager of manager category. And then we're taking the whole curriculum and expanding it and modernizing it. So we're very excited about that. There's significant interest. And so we're going through the applications right now in the program. The first cohort program starts in August, and the final program will wrap up in the spring. So at some point in the spring, we'd love to come back and present this program to you. It's a initiative that supports talent management, succession planning, and employee engagement. For employees that aren't able to make it in the program due to the number of seats, or maybe just a little too busy right now, we're going to have a lot of spin-off benefits with learning and development programs of various sorts, and partner with departments to lean into what they're looking for and how we can help. We're also going to offer a one-team summit for corporate and HR department leadership in the fall to get together and further align our activities. There's a lot of daily partnerships going on, and we want to lean in and foster a higher cadence of strategic related conversations in addition to our kind of day-to-day tactical interactions. There's a lot of class and comp. I won't go through all of them, but you just heard some wage increases. So behind the scenes, we're the ones who process those wage increases. You'll see I've set up different metrics, such as 100% accurate and timely processing of the wage increases. So when you just heard about the FOP increases, we're already working on that. So in terms of other metrics, there'll be further conversations with departments. So if there's a metric that might interrelate to a department, we would work closely with the department to explore what they want to do and what we want to do. And we're just kind of setting the tone of increased metrics. At the same time, some of that is still open conversations. Case management system is something that was being run, I think, by the finance department, and we've taken that over in HR and we're upgrading it. So that's going to help all the departments that manage their employee relations and labor relations cases, keep things organized. ADA, I'm very pleased that we've hired a corporate ADA coordinator who has excellent experience, and we'll be working closely with the departments. Again, this is another area where there's a lot of good work in the departments already, and we're just looking to further partner and support things like the transition plan, any opportunities for best practices, any areas for remediation. Departments often have already on top of that. There might be an opportunity we can lean in and help them if they'd like. A lot of things always going on with health and benefits. Next month, we'll come and speak to you about our renewal for January 1, 2026. We're actively working on that. One thing I'll just tease out is review 457 plan for possible improvements. So we're meeting Tuesday with department heads to roll out an idea that I think everyone's going to be excited about. It's just an additional option called a Roth 457 option. That's not currently offered, but it's something that we think is a good idea. People can then talk to their financial planner if they want to do it or not, totally voluntary. But a lot of people have been asking for that benefit, and we believe we'll have that up and running this fall. We're also looking at a way to reduce fees to our employees, and there's something called open architecture. Sometimes it's also called best-in-class platform, and we're looking closely at implementing that sometime during fiscal year 26. That will probably be a presentation to department heads in July, and at the earliest might be January 1, because that would be a bit of a transition. But we're already starting to work on that. We have a keen eye to offering as many good benefits as we can. These are benefits that are no cost to the commission, however, are very beneficial to the workers. We're deep into the ERP kind of bid process, and then we also are deep into upgrading UKG. There's another phase this fall, so behind the scenes, we help with that. We've just talked about the sign-on bonus. We're looking at doing things like updating and modernizing some of our videos. We actually found some of the departments were doing great work, and we saw an opportunity to partner with them and utilize some of their videos, not have to reinvent the wheel, but a video that might have said, great opportunity at, let's say, Montgomery County Parks. We're able to take that same video with permission and partnership and say, great opportunity at Maryland National Capital Park and Planning, so we can use it in multiple formats. We want to be attractive to all generations and all type of talent opportunities. We have been attending quite a few more job fairs, especially job fairs that relate to the federal workforce and the changes going on there. And NeoGov is our talent acquisition recruiting system. We see an opportunity to add some additional training around that for the hiring managers. We've listed a lot of metrics, but again, the metrics, we've just laid the groundwork to go deep with metrics. And a lot of that is still conversations that would occur with the departments. So I welcome any questions on our strategic/annual business plan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Allen. You know, it's really so important to take on and developing a strategic plan. Thank you for doing that. We're always want to get better, and I like how it's focusing on learning and organizational development, and how you're developing metrics around what we want to achieve. So we're measuring it and determining it. Are we meeting those objectives? So thank you so much. Are there any other questions or comments from the commissioners?
No questions, but excellent job, Mr. Allen. I too associate myself with the chairman's comments, and am particularly pleased to see the metrics attached to the various goals that you put forward. So thank you very much. Very thoughtful.
Thank you so much.
I agree. I agree with the chair's comments as well as Commissioner Washington's comments, and I move for approval.
There is no need
It's
for
only a
approval.
report.
Yeah, is this a
Okay.
report only of how they're moving forward, and I love how they're working with the various departments to get buy-in. It's just not, you know, what HR is proposing. It was a combination of talking to the department heads and their teams and understanding the needs of the commission members and moving forward that way. So I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Or hearing no other questions or comments, thank you again, Mr. Allen. Keep up the good work, and we look forward to getting updates as you move this plan forward. So the next item is fiscal year 24 personnel management review, and Ms. King is presenting it this morning. Welcome. You're on mute.
Perfect segue about talking about analytics and metrics into the FY 24 personnel management review. I'd like to share my screen, if I may. I know that you all have a link to the document, but I just put together a short little slideshow. So I'd like to thank my team, the classification and compensation team, who partnered with the operating departments in order to analyze data to produce this document. I would also like to thank Bill Spencer, our acting executive director, and Todd Allen, our HR director, for guidance during this project. The Personnel Management Review is a document that advises about the agency's employee demographics over the previous fiscal year. The document is important to the agency to produce in order and to review, as it provides us a picture of our organization that can be used to shape our future work programs. We did receive a few comments from department heads and have incorporated them in this year's document and will continue to do so in the future. The document itself is divided into 6 sections, including total workforce, a snapshot that begins on page 2, career workforce, highlights that begin on page 8 and provide meaningful statistics about our career employees over the fiscal year, trends in career employee life cycle that begins on page 31 and provides information about our career employees over the past 5 years or more in such areas as recruitment, cost of living and merit increases, top of grade information, demographic, age distribution, retirement eligibility, and turnover. The non-permanent workforce profile begins on page 39 and has statistics regarding our contract employees, including seasonal intermittent, term contract, and temporary contract employees. The departmental and by county demographics begin on page 44 and include a reflection of employee demographics within each of the major departments. And finally, Section 6 is in an appendix that begins on page 75. Pages 2 through 5 speak to our entire workforce, both permanent and non-permanent. At our peak of hiring in FY24, our employee population reached 6,834 employees. Our permanent or career workforce is where I will focus the next few statistics. Page 8 shows that we had a total of 2,327 career employees in FY24, with 60% being male and 40% female. The chart at the top of page 9 illustrates that we are a diverse organization with 56% minority career employees and 44% non-minority. In FY24, we filled 538 career positions as indicated on page 13. 336, or almost 2/3 of those positions, were filled with external hires, and 202 positions, or 37.5%, were filled internally. Our average salary for FY24 new hires was $76,377, compared to the FY23 average of $69,137. The document also references trends in the workforce. For example, on page 31, it shows that we took an average of 100 days to onboard an employee. Time to fill is defined as the time a position was posted until the date of hire. In FY26, talent acquisition will continue to be an area where we will focus as we continue to attract top talent to the organization. Slide 9 is regarding retirement eligibility and projection trends. A 5-year projection of percentages of employees eligible for retirement has slightly decreased from 25% from a high of 30% in years FY20 through 22. Our turnover statistics on page 37 show that in FY24, we were at 8.1%, which is down from 11.3% in FY23. Statistics regarding non-permanent workforce begin on page 39. And our breakout of departmental statistics begin on page 44. As I mentioned earlier, there are many fascinating trends and highlights referenced in this document regarding our workforce. And if anybody has any questions or feedback, my team is always available. The document will be posted on both the internal and external websites. And my team also has a few printed copies for anyone who would like one. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Wow, this is important information to have. I'm so happy you're tracking it and that the different departments will use it as well as the CAS to grow our organization in the right way. And so this is very, very important. Thank you so much. It's a lot of detail here. So are there any questions or comments? I see Commissioner Pedon with your hand up.
Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, I agree. Lots of very interesting information. I'm wondering that if this data were fit into the strategic planning and if any kind of results withdrawn from this study that, for example, that if this is too long or this is too short or this change from comparing this year to the previous year is not something that we wanted to have, and why it has happened and how we can improve upon that. And then that information fed into the strategic plan that Todd just showed it to us. Thanks.
I know that, yes, and I would let Mr. Allen speak, but I know that he did take these statistics into consideration in developing part of his strategic plan because we had that conversation, but I'll let him answer.
Thank you so much. Yes, there's a lot of valuable data here, and that's always good for us to look at and digest. What does that mean? The data, for example, related to compensation and different genders compensation and other types of areas we can drill in and see, have conversations. What does that mean? It feeds into some of our projects. So, for example, when we meet with the departments, not that we're not already regularly meeting with them, but we have kind of a special strategic target for the fall, we're going to be drilling into some of the data and looking closely at that. One area is seasonal workforce. For example, we have approximately 4,000 seasonals and really want to drill in and look, is there more we could do to be attractive and acquire some of that talent into our career positions, since I believe we just saw that about 2/3 of our hires are external. That might be fine. We are a merit-based system. At the same time, what more can we do, offering maybe learning and development and career pathing for seasonals that are interested in us? And that's where we tied into a project area of recruitment refresh to really look at modernizing how we do things and how do we reach out more actively, not just passively with our postings. Our postings get a lot of responses. However, a lot of people, particularly younger generations, seem to really like these short videos. I'm on LinkedIn and I love every week I'm looking at the videos and how can we tap that video, because we know a lot of people are saying they want to be part of meaningful work and they want to be part of a great mission and serving the community. And that's what we're doing. So we want to make sure that we're conveying that to the talent that's considering working for us. So that's another example of one of our projects, recruitment refresh, that interrelates to some of the data and trying to make sure we're attractive to all generations. When we use in the report also the words employee experience, the data is very helpful because we want to be responsive to employee needs throughout their whole life cycle. So if somebody just starts here, they might be looking at really good onboarding, learning and development of sorts. When they're in mid-career, they might need some different kinds of things that would keep them engaged and excited. And then later in their career, making sure we're providing things that are attractive to them as well. So the data is threaded in, and some of those would be examples. And we're going to drill deeper into the data, including with departmental interest and conversations. So thank you for that question.
Yes, so Commissioner
Thanks,
Petto.
Todd. Just a follow-up. I think that having the data is very important. Another aspect of it is the analysis of the data. So data analysis by itself is a science, and it's a step in between having the data and then the strategic plan. So it's extremely important that the data that we collect or you collect and to be analyzing that. And I think that there are now tools that can do that, especially if you have a few years of the data, then they could see the trend. And as part of that, then there are some conclusions or some ideas or recommendations made that what is the trend and how we could help the trend to go to the place that we want it to go. Of course, everything has risk and unforeseen consequences. So that's something that is very important that we have, or else we're just collecting the data by itself and not to analyze that data is not going to achieve the result that we are looking for.
Yeah, so
Well, it was just a comment.
no,
Thank you.
those are great, all great comments. I know that this was presented in draft form to the Leadership Committee, a week or so ago, and like one of the now that they have this report, they're going to be plugging it into analyzing it and seeing how we can make our organization better. One of the examples was that, Ms. King showed that, it approximately takes 100 days to hire a person through a certain process. And so the point is, how can you speed up that process? Look at the trend, and how do you speed up that process? Because we know hiring people is so important. And the faster you hire them, that we get them into the system faster, and they're helping us do our work better. So so they were looking at that. So now that we have this report, and they can also use it to update some of the metrics or help with the metrics that we want to track and improve on. So thank you for that. That's a great comment. And I know that given that this just came out, the departments and Mr. Allen, they're looking at how do they use it now to better the organization. So thank you. Yeah. Are there any other questions or comments? So thank you so much. This is a great presentation. It's important to have this data, and department's gonna take the next steps on using it to make the organization a better commission. So next, our next item is 6G, pro bono representation policy. And I believe Ms. Borton is going to present this. This is a voting item, so welcome, Ms. Borton.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to everyone, all the commissioners and everyone on the call. I'm very happy to present this item to you this morning. This has been a long time coming, as Commissioner Giraldo knows. He has really advocated for the Office of General Counsel to do more pro bono work. And so we had some discussions early on in my tenure about doing this. And then, life got in the way and we got really busy. So I'm just getting to this. But just so that you understand, what we're doing right now is the Office of General Counsel is governed by Practice 1-40. And that practice has some language in it that's a bit ambiguous when it comes to pro bono representation. It has language that says that our attorneys are prohibited from doing non-commissioned legal work unless the commissioners approve it. And so that language has really sort of led me to think that we really need to put language in the practice that specifically allows our lawyers to do pro bono work within certain parameters as approved by the General Counsel. So I'm asking for a delegation of that authority from the commissioners to the General Counsel for approval of those matters. And what I've provided to you is a memo sort of discussing the reasons we think pro bono is so important. The need is there. The need is currently unmet. And we have proposed some language for a policy as well as a procedure that would sort of live within the Office of General Counsel. And that would provide really good step-by-step understanding for our attorneys as to how and when and why they can engage in pro bono activities as commissioned lawyers. And we have also included in there the possibility of up to 10 hours of administrative leave towards their pro bono service. So really putting our money where our mouth is when we say we want to encourage our attorneys to engage in pro bono service. So I think that's very important. We've never done that before. And I really just think it's important for us to make a stand and to say that, we're not just going to allow our attorneys to do this, we're going to support them in this endeavor. So I'll stop there and see if you have any questions. I will also remind you that we will bring the practice to you with some slight revision to allow the pro bono service. Next month, we wanted to make sure that we got that out to the department heads so that they can see it, because anytime we do a policy revision, we always let the department heads weigh in first, and then we bring it to you. So I'll stop there and see if there are any questions.
Are there any questions of Ms. Borton?
I have a
No
question.
questions. I would like to thank her for making this a reality, and having served in the pro bono community for several years myself, I wholly endorse it, and I think it's a good program. So thank you, Ms. Borden.
Thank you.
And I would also like to thank Ms. Borden. I did read through the policy document and it's very thoughtful. But one question I had, and I just don't know, but as it relates to employees, I'm not certain how referrals would come through the Maryland Legal Services Corporation. I mean, should we, or is, let's say one of our employees comes through is as a referral, are our employees prohibited from representing a commission employee, or is that caught through the conflict review process, or does the policy need to be explicit somehow in that regard? That was my only question.
Okay, so the Maryland Legal Services Corporation is like an umbrella corporation that issues grants to various nonprofits and groups that actually then provide the service. And these nonprofits, they cover the gamut. There are immigration related nonprofits. There are nonprofits that focus solely on family law issues, everything in between. And so what would happen is we would either get a referral through one of those agencies. They would contact Wes as the deputy general counsel, because he would be the coordinator of our program, and they would say, hey, we have a case. Can one of your attorneys handle this? And it could come from any of those sort of constituent nonprofits that do this work out in the communities. So the other way that it could come up is if one of our attorneys gets themselves listed on one of these, referral services, and they could bring it to Wes to review it. So what we would do is we would look at the situation. We would look at it for conflicts. We would look at it for sort of general suitability, because not every situation would be a suitable situation for our attorneys to get involved with. Right. So we would look at that, we would discuss it with the attorney, and make a decision. I wouldn't want to exclude our employees. We have a lot of employees, some of whom are seasonals, some of whom do not make a whole lot of money. And so, there wouldn't be necessarily any reason that we couldn't include, say, a seasonal employee who is, I don't know, getting a divorce and needs help, filling out the paperwork. I wouldn't want to exclude that kind of situation, but there may be a situation that we do want to exclude, which is why there's a gatekeeper approach here.
Okay, no, that makes absolute sense, and thank you for the additional context. I fully support the program. Thank you. That's it for me, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I also feel this is a great policy, and it's great for an organization. It's like we are a giving organization, and we have so much talent also to give. So I'm supportive of this, and I just want to make sure what we're voting on. So we're voting on the pro bono representation policy, and then there are going to be procedures you come back with that we vote on the procedures later, Ms. Borden. I'm just.
No, actually, you have the policy and the procedure already.
Okay.
You have that, but really, what you're voting on is the ability of the general counsel to approve the policy and the procedures and to actually approve pro bono, because at this point, it's not clear from the practice, and it almost suggests that any representation would have to be approved specifically by the commissioners. So I'm trying to take that away from your plate and put it on my plate. So I'm looking for an approval of delegation of authority to the general counsel to approve pro bono.
Okay. So is there a motion of delegation of authority to the general counsel to approve pro bono as outlined in this memo?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Geraldo, second by Commissioner Washington. May I have a roll call, please?
Chair Harris.
Aye.
Commissioner Linden.
Aye.
Commissioner Pettaway. You're on mute, Commissioner.
Thumbs up?
Take a thumbs up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Now,
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I had a hard time to move my cursor on my.
You vote approval, madam?
Yes.
Thank you.
Aye.
Vice Chair Shapiro.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Geraldo.
I vote aye.
Commissioner Washington.
I vote aye.
Call for Bartley or Hedrick. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And our last item under action and presentation items is item 6H, communicate with confidence. Vice Chair Shapiro and I went, along as with the deputies and the directors, to a graduation a couple of days ago on communicating with confidence, and it was so moving, and I thought that the other commissioners should know about it, and so I have Mr. Spencer today telling us about this program.
So I have never been so proud to be a commission employee than when I went to this graduation ceremony for Communicate with Confidence. It was moving, as the chair said, and the program is geared toward primarily to staff whose primary language is not English. It's English as a second language, but it's open to everybody. And we do have members of our staff who are trying to improve their language capabilities, their communication skills orally and in writing. And it was well attended. We had 20 graduates. And imagine the courage that it takes as an adult learner to look into yourself and commit time for work, family, and carve out that time to do this, and the courage that it takes to move forward. It takes quite a bit. And also imagine one of the best parts, one of the highlights, I thought, in addition to everyone else speaking, the directors and the chairs and the vice chair, was when the keynote speaker was one of the graduates themselves. And this is talking about communicating with confidence. What confidence and courage that it took to stand up in front of that group and deliver a message to all these esteemed members that were sitting there and watching you. Your colleagues, your supervisor, and these folks that you don't even know, but you know that they are, quote unquote, big shots. So it was really moving, and the keynote speaker was fantastic. She got up in front of, and she thanked the commission for this opportunity, for caring. She pulled out a little flag with the commission's logo and waved it. She then thanked the state of Maryland for being part of just living here, and pulled out also a U.S. flag, an American flag, and waved that for thanking this country for providing an opportunity. It was so touching. And you know that it was heartfelt. One of the things that she said that touched me was one of the N's in M-NCPPC, the N, she said, it stands for never give up. You know, you never give up on yourself, you never give up on trying, you never give up on your hopes, you just never give up and you never give in. It was such movement, and finally, when we had the taking pictures, this group was so proud of themselves and of each other, and we were all in the room very ecstatic about what was happening. We had a photo of them throwing up their caps and, throwing their hats up, because they had caps and gowns on. They threw it up one of them was so excited, they threw up not only the cap, but the certificate that was framed in a nice frame, and that went up in the air. But it was a time for celebration, and believe me, they earned it. They truly earned it. So I just wanted to share that with you because it's one of the things that we got right. I want to take a moment and thank Denia Wilson, who of CAS, Tiffany Davis from Prince George's DPR, and Grania O'Malley Shane of Montgomery County Parks. They were all part of this, putting this together. It's a collaborative effort between MC Parks, Prince George's DPR, and CAS in terms of putting this, as well as the vendor who we relied on to revamp the program, and that was the Prince George's Community College. So.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Wonderful program. And it's also, it's our commitment to have our employees grow. And if they grow and specifically with communication skills, we want them to be leaders, and we want to make our commission as strong and effective as possible. So it was wonderful. They are also can go back and be role models to other members of the commission. So we're hoping that this program grows. When other people see that these 20 people took the time to go through the program, improve on their skills, and hopefully with time be promoted because they're growing in the organization, that sends the signal to what we really want to our commission to be. So thank you so much, Mr. Spencer. I wanted to make sure that the other commissioners heard about this. Oh, Vice Chair.
Yeah, thank you. Just one thing that I wanted to add is that, it was such a wonderful moving event. We are looking to double the size of the program for next year. And so if all of us in all of our different roles, the department heads and others that are here on this call, if we can be attentive to this wonderful program and work collaboratively to figure out how we can drive even more, provide this opportunity to even more people from the commission.
Great comment. Yeah, it's a great comment. They have the capacity for more, so let's get more people involved in this. All right, so that ends our action and presentation items. The next item is officers' reports. We have the executive director's report that was included, the MFD quarterly purchasing statistics for the commissioners to review, and the quarterly budget transfers was in the packet. There wasn't a scheduled secretary-treasurer report this month, but there was included a general counsel litigation report for your information. And before I end, I was remiss not to, when we came back in from the closed session, to say that we did have a closed session. It was to get a status of the collective bargaining negotiations with FOP and McGeo. So I wanted to state that. Yeah.
Also, in addition, that a vote on the closed session minutes from the May meeting was held. Also, a minor correction to today's vote on the open session meeting from May. Commissioners Shapiro and Linden were absent from the May meeting, so with their assent, I'll be changing their votes to abstentions for that particular vote.
Great.
Thank you.
And
Mr. Chairman, or Vice Chair?
Yeah, just a question. This is a process question, not a big one, but my understanding is that if we reviewed the meeting and if we reviewed the minutes, then we actually are eligible to vote.
What was the last piece? I didn't hear that.
If we review the meeting and if we review the minutes, then we are eligible to vote. Frankly, not that I did either one, but at least I think that technically is the way it works, but I could be wrong. Maybe it's a legal question.
Ms. Borden?
Yeah, so you could put on the record that you actually watched the meeting, later on, and that would make you eligible to vote on the minutes. It's up to you how you want to do that. But yeah, that is a possibility.
Just checking, but I did not do that. And so, Mr. Adams, what you're saying is accurate, and I will consider myself having abstained.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Mr. Linden, did you have your hand up? Commissioner, okay, great. So no other questions or comments. This concludes our meeting for June 18th of the Maryland National Capital Park and Planning Commission. So thank you everyone for participating, and we will see you next month. Thank you.
Thank you.